It's not about a title, it's not about necessarily a role, it's about real change. Unless you're really using that power for other people, you're really not being a leader, you're ingrown, you're self-centered. That change is only going to happen by us making change, and then those people that are in that change moment continue to fight for change. Homophily, the sociological term of homophily, of birds of a feather flocking together, and how networks can be homophilous is something that I've drawn a lot on in my work because I see it so true. And unless those networks get interrupted, they'll continually reproduce the same outcome. It does seem that some people are rewarded for following a very defined trajectory. Subconsciously, the model might be a white, cisgendered, heterosexual man. Tall, good-looking, and then in terms of even scholarship, where they write, where do they publish, what topics are they exploring. If you deviate from that path or that trajectory, you're not really seen as legitimate and thus not a model. The model minority stereotype has been called a form of racist love. What it is, it's a form of wedge politics. It's a form of pointing out Asian American success to validate perhaps inequality for Black and brown people. Model minorities are hyper visible. So when Asian Americans win a prize, or they win a contest, or they gain admission into an Ivy League school, those stories are told, that narrative is perpetuated to validate the idea that, oh, it is a meritocracy. If you work hard just like that Asian American student, you can achieve success as well. It's untrue. We know that Asian Americans, not all, have the great success that the media hypes them up to having. There are cases of Asian Americans who are in poverty, who are in prison, who have bad things happen to them. And so by focusing on the single narrative, the dominant narrative, it almost erases the reality of what being an Asian American means. We can't really be selective on the stories we tell and don't tell. In terms of African Americans, for instance, you have cases where you might be an assistant principal and you're viewed as the disciplinarian. That is a racialized role. You might be a leader, but you're assumed to be the disciplinarian. In higher education, oftentimes Asian Americans are viewed as technicians or technical experts. You see that perhaps in STEM, that they're racialized as being scientists, mathematicians, engineers. I don't necessarily believe in that there is one unified model approach to leadership or to one's career. We need to open the hidden curriculum of leadership. We need to expose people to knowledge and experiences that will allow them to enter the door. What are the rules of this game? What are the rules of engagement? What is the culture behind this? What are the do's and don'ts, so to speak? Really identifying young folk, give them opportunities to lead and learn, and then mentoring and training up future generations of diverse leaders.